Let's do some trading. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, right off the Futures Show, is here with us on MTL. Scott, let's talk GS. You want to ride this wave higher? It seems like everybody wants a piece of the banks now.
You know what? Between GS and JPM, I'm not sure which one to ride higher, but as long as we're talking about GS, you have to, Oliver. And this thing, you know, as long as the market continues this melt up, that 240 area or so that Jeff was talking about, this thing's going to be a magnet right there. So I'm really looking to take advantage with that. I'm looking for an upside call spread. I'm buying myself here about a month, though. I'm going out to January 10th options, buying the 232.5, 240 call spread. Now, that's a little bit more aggressive than I normally get. I usually go a little bit further out of the money, a little bit lower of a delta, but I really like the momentum behind that thing. I can buy that for about $2, can go to $7.50. And again, I think as long as we don't get a major setback with tariffs or a big sort of policy change from the Fed, which is so unlikely at this point, the banks will continue to rally.
Yeah. All right. Now, part of this, you know, there's also a lot of talk about the, nature of the yield curve and what the 10-year means and all that stuff. We're actually going to talk later on in the show in our panel about Goldman's look ahead, and they actually, on their strategy team, talk about financials is already having priced in rate moves to the upside, which is an interesting, debate to be had, I guess, Scott. How much of this, it depends if we really get some kind of, big boost to growth.
Well, how much of it is priced in because of rates, and how much of this acceleration over the last, 6 weeks or so in the banks is maybe some upside because the global economy is better, so maybe there's more investing, and maybe trading revenues are better also in the big banks, because we've really seen that pretty lackluster with Goldman, even in JP Morgan, have not had great trading revenues. I think this all kind of comes together and is really lining up for a nice pop into the end of the year here.
Yeah. All right. Now, when you structure it this way, the pullback, what does that mean for it, Scott? You've got some buffer to the downside on the trade.
I do, and you know what? I can lose $2. That's what I'm buying this call spread for. That is the most I can lose. But you know what? If this thing even hovers a little bit right here after this pop today, the spread's not going to go too far. It's not going to go too far against me, but I've got a major amount of upside, which is what I like here.
All right, Scott Bauer joining us from the CBO, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Appreciate it, Scott. As always, sounds like a busy morning down there in the pit.